Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sgcarmart and welcome to lovely Chiang Mai, Thailand. So it's 2025 and every automotive manufacturer is having to deal with changing market conditions as well as tightening emission standards. And that means that electrification is typically the answer. Some brands have fully committed to going electric, while others want to keep internal combustion alive. Porsche too is trying to find this balance. And electrification isn't new to the brand. Porsche launched a Cayenne hybrid in 2010 and also makes plug-in hybrid models as well. And of course, there are now fully electric Porsches. The Taycan, the brand's first all-electric model, is now already 6 years old. The Macan has gone electric, and the next generation Boxster or Cayman will be electric as well. But the iconic 911 Porsche is adamant about keeping it with a petrol-burning engine. And let's be honest, fans tend to be really up in arms whenever new technology is introduced for the 911. But electrification is inevitable, and that's why we have this here today. This is the first ever electrified 911, the GTS T-Hybrid. So let's first get the complicated stuff out of the way. This car uses a brand new hybrid system, but it's nothing like a Toyota Prius. So behind the rear axle sits a newly developed 3.6-litre engine that alone makes 471 brake horsepower, and for some context, the standard Carrera is making 389 brake horsepower. And this T-Hybrid system is a complex bit of kit. There's a newly developed e-turbo, which uses an electric motor to help build boost pressure and effectively eliminate turbo lag. That motor also acts as a generator and can extract up to 11 kilowatts of power from excess exhaust gases. A second electric motor is integrated into the 8-speed PDK transmission, which supports the engine with extra drive torque and can provide a power boost of 40 kilowatts. Now, performance still primarily comes from that petrol-burning engine, but with the electric assistance, power is kicked up to 534 brake horsepower and 610 Newton meters of torque. But obviously, the T-Hybrid system also helps to reduce emissions some and appease the regulators. Now, let's talk about the design of this car. So obviously, this is a 992.2 Generation 911, and the overall look and shape is largely similar. But unique to this GTS, first are these 5 vertically arranged S-LEDs on either side, and these are actually active, so they will close under low load, and then when you need more cooling under high load, they will actually open, and this actually works together with an active diffuser down below as well. Now, if we go on to the back, there are some other telltale signs. Now, at the rear, there are 2 telltale signs that this is a GTS. First are the tailpipes. They are more centrally positioned, and second, of course, is the GTS badge. But you know, even with all the faffing about, this still looks like a 911. Now let's go jump inside the car. Now, inside the cabin, this is basically your standard 992.2 Generation 911 cabin, which is to say that it's a very functional space, it's a very comfortable space, you have very nice materials, it's really quite ergonomic. It's also quite expensive, and you know, if you go have fun with a configurator, it could be even more expensive. And you know, it's a really usable daily space, and that's really what a 911 is supposed to be. And truth be told, it's honestly quite hard to find signs that this is firstly a GTS and secondly a hybrid. So the only telltale sign is that there's this GTS word over here. And to know that it's a hybrid, okay, there is a little battery bar over here that shows you the state of charge. And you know, when you are driving, there's this additional little boost bar. And in the infotainment system, if you dive into the performance menu, there is an additional energy screen that can show you your battery state of charge, how much power the combustion engine is producing, how much power the e-motors are producing. But beyond that, to really feel the difference, we have to drive the car. Now, this is interesting. When you turn on the car, you can actually tell the difference because, you know, typically you hear the car cranking, right? So listen to this. Done. That's, I know, a little bit, you know, nerdy, but that's really quite cool. So yes, let's go drive this car and see how it feels on the road. So we're now driving the car, and first and foremost, I want to point out that this is a GTS model. So in the typical 911 lineup, the GTS sits between your entry Carrera models and your top-end turbo and GT models, right? So it's somewhere in the middle performance-wise. The interesting thing is that actually this GTS has more power than a GT3, but obviously they are quite different cars, right? The GT3 is much more of a track weapon, whereas this is supposed to exist in that sweet spot between your standard everyday going 911 Carreras and your more intense GT3 models. So let's talk about this T-Hybrid system. Does it work? Definitely works. So, it's most noticeable, I think, at the low end, right? So obviously having also just jumped out of the 911 and into this car. And typically with 911, at low revs, you kind of need the turbo to spool, build pressure, and then you get that boost, right? And here, there's no need for that because, it's an electric turbocharger. And, you can see on the little screen in front of me, right? So now I'm at 1,800. And with just light throttle, you can see the blue bar really shooting up, right? So that's your boost bar or whatsoever. And yes, there's definitely a more immediate sense of performance, right? Like your right foot feels a little bit sharper in controlling sort of how the car is moving. And that is the hybrid system at work. Now, is it vastly different? I would struggle to say vastly different, also because typically, if in the standard 911 you need more performance, the car is going to drop a couple of gears, pull the engine into its necessary power band, and you're on boost already. But here, if I sort of be a little bit weird and force it into a high gear, so I'm in 5th gear doing 30 km per hour, it still pulls alright, and that's not what you would get in the standard 911. Now, on the handling front, the GTS definitely is a sharper car than the Carrera. It's got active anti-roll bars, it's got rear axle steering, this car is lower by 10 mm and has stiffer springs as well. And actually, the engine is 110 mm lower, and that means that this has a lower CG as well. And the result is that yes, through corners it feels a little bit more planted, a little bit sharper on turn-in, and you can really punch out of a corner, let's say 10% earlier than a Carrera. But it's one of those things, right? That's really fundamentally the fact that this is a GTS. It's supposed to be a higher performing 911 than your standard Carrera. And at the same time, if you weren't driving it back to back with a standard Carrera like I have, can you really detect those differences? I don't know. Perhaps you might be a better driver than me, but I want to say that the overall experience feels very familiar. And the fact that means that it's a very recognizable 911 experience, right? It's just got a lot more performance. Like, look at this. I'm just, barely up to 5,000 RPM and it shoots forward. And, that's both the hybrid system working, but also the fact that this engine has, by itself, 80 horsepower more than your Carrera. Add on the hybrid system and this has more than 100 brake horsepower more. So that's just raw performance talking, right? I think perhaps the most noticeable difference is in performance, and that, yes, is partially to do with the hybrid. So let's give it some. Yeah, so that's definitely to do with the hybrid system, but also just the fact that this has a lot more power than your Carrera, right? This has more than 100 horsepower more than your Carrera, and you're just gonna feel that absolute performance, whether in a straight line or around corners as well. And I think the overall driving experience feels very familiar. It feels like a 911. It's agile, it's very planted through corners, it's responsive to how you're driving, and it's, I'm driving on some mountain roads here in Chiang Mai. It's a really enjoyable car to drive. Now, a 911 is also supposed to be an everyday car, and I think this GTS does that pretty well. It is a little bit more stiffly sprung than the standard Carrera, and you do feel that over some poorer roads. But otherwise, unless you're driving really hard on the mountain roads like I am, or on a racetrack, I'm not actually sure it's going to feel that vastly different from your standard Carrera. And I think that's probably also a good thing, because you don't want this to be a turbo or GT3 and be a little bit scary to drive, a little bit too intense for everyday driving. You want to find a balance of having a lot of power, sure, but also being reasonable to drive, being fairly usable every day. And I think the GTS really does find a good sweet spot. Now, Porsche's approach to electrifying its iconic sports car is perhaps, all things considered, not particularly surprising, right? Yes, the T-Hybrid system is extracting more performance and perhaps it's sending fewer carbon emissions up into the sky, but I think the most noticeable fact of this T-Hybrid system is the fact that you don't notice it at all. It's there, but it's not there, right? So it's not giving any of the telltale signs of a hybrid, right? It's got no EV mode, it's got no engine shut off when you're coasting, it's got no, deactivating of cylinders. It's just your full-blown Porsche performance experience just elevated to the next level with the help of electrons. And honestly, if I didn't tell you, I'm not sure you could pick out the fact that this is a hybrid, because it's not like any of your typical hybrid systems. In fact, if you really want to be a little bit nerdy about it and think about it, it's in some ways more of a mild hybrid system on steroids, and on a lot of steroids, let's be very honest. But ultimately, it's really electrification for performance sake. And fundamentally, this is still a 911, and a damn good one at that. And I think, yes, while Porsche might make a big deal about it being a T-Hybrid, I think the most relevant thing here is the fact that it's a 911 GTS. It's a 911 made sharper, made faster, made more involving to drive, but still a car that you can use every day. Now, more interestingly is what this T-Hybrid means for Porsche moving forward. So while Porsche doesn't come out to say it, I think we can draw some very obvious conclusions, right? This T-Hybrid system is here to stay. It's almost certainly going to find its way into future 911 iterations, whether it's the upcoming turbo or even the base model in the future generations of the 911. And who knows, it might even find its way into the other model lines as well. But I think one thing we can be fairly sure about is that thanks to this T-Hybrid system, the 911 with a flat 6 is here to stay for some time more. So yes, that's our first drive of the new 911 GTS T-Hybrid. What do you think about this car? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. And you can also hit the notification bell to be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And of course, also follow us on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So that's my time here in Thailand. I'll see you back home. Bye! Trick, while others still want to keep the in-total, the standard Carrera is wrong. My numbers are wrong. 4. They will close when under low load to improve the overall efficiency, aerodynamic efficiency. Let's do that again. And then on your cluster when you turn up. Okay, let's do this again.